Hello traders, this is Tom Williams from Opteck. Good day to you all. Today it's the 16th of September 2013. Today we didn't have a lot of liquidity, which is pretty typical for Monday. At the beginning of the week, we're not expecting to see enormous movements. We do expect to have several good trades, but to tell you the truth, that we didn't have a lot of potential today. Beside the scenario where we had an announcement regarding the European Central Bank President Draghi spoke, and he gave a bit of weakness to the euro. We could have used that information, but all the other announcements expressed a very low amount of movement on the charts, and there wasn't a lot of potential. We had several good potentials of trade toward a stronger Australian dollar in the market. The Australian dollar is gaining strength for the entire trading day, and we can expect to see a continuance of that specific movement, but only later on. At the moment, the market is fluctuating around the same levels, and I'm not expecting to see the movement taking form at the moment. Maybe into the U.S. market session that we just the U.S. market just opened its time frame, and we can see some sort of movement beginning to form on the chart. Then maybe we will see the expression of stronger Australian dollar in the market, expressing different issues on the US dollar itself. Tomorrow, on the other hand, we've got a variety of good opportunities. We've got at the night on our area, we've got an announcement on the Australian dollar, a red announcement that should deliver enough liquidity. Again, the Australian dollar at the moment is one of the strongest currencies in the market. When I'm saying that, I'm not referring to the last month or the last year. I'm referring to the last several hours. The Australian dollar is expressing a lot of strength in the market. We can express any kind of weaker currency in front of it, so that we'll be able to enjoy the better probability in the market. Later on tomorrow, we've got at 9:30 a.m. we've got an announcement regarding the pound. After that, 30 minutes after that announcement regarding the euro, pay attention, that's a specific announcement regarding the German economy. We can express that information in front of the DAX, the German DAX. After that, at afternoon 1:30 p.m., we've got an announcement regarding the Canadian dollar, an announcement regarding the US dollar. I'm always saying when we've got two red announcements on two different currencies at the same time, we can use that information if one of the currencies will deliver good announcement and the other one will deliver bad announcement. That indication would give us that specific direction. Let's um, let's talk about the scenario where the Canadian dollar will receive good announcement and the dollar will receive bad announcement. We will see that indication over here on the right. So if the Canadian dollar will receive good announcement and the US dollar will receive a bad announcement, that will be a put option on the dollar versus the Canadian dollar toward a stronger dollar in front of the weaker US dollar. Okay, so it's very logical to express that specific movement using the charts, and we will have the ability to do that if one of the currencies will present good indication and the other one will present bad indication. After that, we won't have enough announcement to change the movements on the charts, but as binary option traders, we don't need the market to change its movement. We only need liquidity to begin movements, and then we can follow the continuance of that specific direction. As you can see later on this week, we've got a lot of announcements. We've got a great week in terms of announcements and a lot of potential later on Wednesday and Thursday. Let's see Friday. Friday only two announcements, but still, let's see how much profit we can take from Thursday and Tuesday and Wednesday, which will deliver the largest amount of liquidity. Let's go to the chart. Let's see what is our expectation. So first of all, as I said, let's go to the indication of the strength. Okay, as you can see, the Australian dollar is one of the strongest currencies. The pound is second in line. The Swiss franc is the third in terms of strength and weakness. The euro and the New Zealand dollar are one of, it's approximately in the middle, and the dollar itself is one of the weakest. It is the weaker currency in the market at the moment. Okay, just so that you know, weaker dollar is usually expressing stronger S&P 500, stronger Dow Jones, Nasdaq. The economy of the United States is climbing up as the dollar itself is dropping down in terms of general strength in front of the worldwide market. Let's actually go and find a few potential trades. So as you can see, the Canadian dollar all of a sudden began to lose a lot of strength. That was a good indication, although the stochastic did not climb as high as we were expecting it to. Basically, we've got an a downtrend B, and a continuance potential for C. An uptrend movement is expected over here only because of formation, but we don't have a permission to react to that one yet. We need to wait for the RSI to cross the 50 level. Over here, the Swiss franc versus Japanese yen, that looks perfect, implying that that is an impulse movement dropping down, and an A, B, and C climbing up. A good potential for a downtrend. A stronger Japanese yen in the market is expected over here, and I will pay attention to this structure later on. Let's see. Again, the dollar itself is presenting a good image of an impulse movement and a corrective pattern as well. An impulse, correction, choppy overlapping movement, very clear movement. We can see that, and again, as a potential for continuance of a downtrend, the stronger Japanese yen in the market. Because of that, I will erase the potential of the Canadian dollar, because if I can see that the dollar and the Swiss franc are presenting a potential for a downtrend, and I know that the Japanese yen is a currency that reflects the same strength and weakness in front of all the currencies. It's a dominant currency, such as just as the Swiss franc and the US dollar. Then I'm expecting it to deliver the same potential. Now, the first potential that I can see is a downtrend in front of the Swiss franc and the US dollar. I can tell you that the Australian dollar specifically is presenting an image of an uptrend. Again, impulse, choppy overlapping movement. Impulse, choppy overlapping movement. A good presentation for a call option, but again, that's a unique specific characteristics because we're talking about the Australian dollar, which we said that the Australian dollar is the strongest currency in the market at the moment, and I'm not expecting it to express a continuance of weakness in front of the Japanese yen, while all the other will. As long as it will stay above the 50 level, I'm expecting it to continue higher and higher. So at the moment, the Australian dollar is the only currency that I can expect to see an uptrend, but all the other, the dollar, Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, and even the euro and the New Zealand are expected to continue lower. Here we don't have a good indication at all. We had a great trade over here that I've sent for several clients of ours. A potential for a call option. RSI was at the top. Stochastic dropped down, just as we had over here. Although over here we had the RSI in the middle, and that was an approval for participating in this trade. Again, I'm usually trying to avoid trading the Australian dollar in front of the New Zealand because they usually express the same movements. They usually form a choppy overlapping movement, and you see specific areas such as this one, such as this one, such as this one, or this one, where they had an enormous change between them because one currency is gaining strength and the other one is staying at the same level as it was before. So we understand that the ability to express changes on the Australian dollar in front of the New Zealand is not as large or as much as on the other currencies, because both of them are from the same area. And I would definitely look for potential trade on the Australian dollar in front of the New Zealand while we've got an announcement on one of them during the time frame of the stock exchange in New Zealand and in Australia. It begins at 10 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, 10 o'clock GMT at night. When the sun is shining in Australia and New Zealand, then we've got stock exchange working over there, and then we've got the potential for divergence, for changes on the chart of the Australian dollar and the New Zealand. Over here, as you can see, the Australian dollar is still presenting a good potential for a downtrend. We've got a stochastic dropping down over here, but climbing up after that, showing the exhaustion level. The RSI is below the 50 level. Good potential for a downtrend again. I do expect the Australian dollar to gain strength and the euro to continue its expression of weakness. So that's a logical trade. Again, if it won't cross the trend line, I won't participate in this trade. We had a lot of examples for scenarios like that, where the market is just continuing its movement without changing its direction once we don't have a liquidity to change the movement on the chart. So trend line is essential today. A cross beyond the trend line is essential, and a continuance of a downtrend is expected if we will cross this trend line. An uptrend potential over here. A call option over here as well. Again, the dollar is expected to express weakness. A great call option over here. A cross beyond the trend line will signal a good potential trade. Another one, euro versus the US dollar. We can see a potential for weaker dollar in the market on a variety of opportunities. Japanese yen, pound, euro. We can see that potential, and we should expect that expression. We should look for that expression because that will deliver a good probability of trades once we see that the market is expressing the same motion in front of a variety of assets. Dollar versus Japanese yen. Again, we've talked about that. We can see that it already began dropping down, a trend line below the entire movement. Right now, we're approaching the candle that if it will close below the trend line, that will be a great trade for a put option. And that is it basically. We've got some traders that are in the room at the moment. For those of you who watch this recording through our website, you see how beneficial it is to watch the webinars live, because you've got a variety of opportunities we've got right now in the market that I'm going over. I do encourage you to sign up for our daily briefing webinar. Let's go to the chart to our website, and I will show you exactly how to do that. Going to the the academy, sorry. Going to the academy, you've got a webinar calendar. Going to the webinar calendar, clicking on that, you can click on the on tomorrow's daily briefing. Just click on that, and then look at that. I'm clicking, and then I've got an ability to join that specific webinar. You can click on each and every one of them and sign. Joining the webinar, and then I'll be able to view the information live, not view the recording without having the ability to analyze that together with us. Okay, that concludes our session for today. I wish you all the best with your trades, and obviously you've got brokers. You can ask them questions whenever you feel like it. Send them emails, give them a call, and learn from them, because they've got a lot of experience, and I'm sure that you can elevate your knowledge using that specific privilege. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and bye bye.